It's just a transformation. I think it's given me a new lease of life. I go back to the CEO I report into in the business now, and he said you're like energized. Just wow, I can't explain what it's done to me. I feel a different person. Yeah, just a massive transformation, life changing. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a director of an off-site manufacturing business in East Yorkshire. 52 years of age, with a family, 2 children, wife. Been happily married for 30 years. All my life is my family, and also work is my life as well. And contacted yourself, James. It was a bit of a crossroads of my life, really, with what's going on at my work, the intensity, and some, I would say, quite serious diagnosis of some back injury and back pain I'd been having. So I was at quite a low point at that stage, hence why I made contact with yourself.
What do you mean low?
Yeah, I think I'd had a diagnosis. I've been struggling with back pain for quite a while, but it was a pain like I'd never had before. And
how long had you had that back pain?
I'd had it for about 18 months, 2 years. And I'd been, multiple doctors, appointments, MRI scans, going through different diagnoses, from arthritis to slip discs to nerve damage, but nothing was getting better. And obviously medication was the only option I was given, basically told by the doctors, it is what it is, deal with it, and here's a load of medication to live on for the rest of your life. So I was pretty low, if I'm honest. I think it was one of the lowest parts of my life. I've got a successful career. I've got a very happy family. But I was sat there at 50 thinking, my God, is this my life now, in pain for the rest of my life? And I was at a bit of a crossroads of what do I do?
What did you hope to get from this?
I think for me was an amount of discipline in myself, investing in myself. The biggest hope was to get some pain relief. That was the ultimate hope for me, was pain relief, and put a bit of structure and discipline into myself, if that's through exercise, if that's through eating. So that's what there was my sort of like 3 goals, was the pain relief, discipline in exercise, and eating more healthier. Really, investing in myself was a bit of what I think I've invested in the business for the last 10 years and in my family for all my life, but I've neglected myself a little bit. So I think I'd this time was about investing in myself.
It's funny, isn't it? We don't think twice about investing in the business, for the business to grow, to evolve, to improve. And we shelve ourselves in terms of our health for long periods of time. And actually, it's about investing time, obviously resources as well, into this area to make improvements like we would do with any other area of our life.
Absolutely. And I've not done it. Like I said, I've invested everything into the business, in the family, in effort, in money, in time, and everything. But actually, when you sit back and look at the hard and facts, I've actually abused myself for the last 10 years. I might look okay in a weight wise and don't look slim, but actually I totally neglected myself.
How did you find it when we started?
I've got to say, loved it. I'm a sort of person, once I get into the zone, I am so focused and disciplined, and I was surprised how much I did enjoy it. I love that discipline, and I started doubling, tripling what I was eating, and actually I wasn't putting on any weight, and that was like crazy. I'd come home on a night and be sat cooking a meal, and my daughter and wife would be looking at me thinking, we normally have a bowl of soup here, and I'm sat here with this big plate of chicken and vegetables and stuff like that. So it was quite amusing for them, but I loved it. I'm sat eating them, and then I'd get on the scales in the morning, do my weight, and hold on, I've lost 1/4 pound here, and I'm eating. So that was a real, inspiration to me to keep it going. It's been life changing. I'm not going to lie, it's been life changing. I'm sat here now, and I'm not in pain. The pain, I think, has improved 50 to 75%, a broad band, but that's life changing to me, because as I said earlier, I was sat there thinking about, I need to retire. I need to go and do the nice things with the wife now, and because I might not be able to do it in later life. That's where my head was. I'm sat here now, and it's improved 50, 60%, even more. It's hard to even put a percentage, but yes, I still get pain, but nowhere near the levels of pain. It's just a transformation. I think it's given me a new lease of life. I go back to the CEO I report into in the business now, and he said you're like energized, and it has given me a different set of energies. I've got a different focus. I'm not sat thinking, do you know what? I think I need to retire now and slow down and start preparing for me being pushed about. Where I'm actually sat here now thinking, you know what? I've got a good few more years in me in the work life. What do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? It's transformed me. I say you can invest in ISAs, you can invest in shares. I've invested in myself for the first time in 52 years and got a phenomenal outcome. And I've improved the pain I was in, and I was in a dark place with the pain. I thought that was it. I was close to going through all the spinal injections, pushing for surgery. That's what I was pushing for on my spine, and crazy, but I've done it naturally, and that's been my biggest success or achievement from this, is that I've done something by investing in myself, and massive thanks to you for that. But it's just a wow. I can't explain what it's done to me. I feel a different person. I'm not sat walking on a Saturday morning with the wife and the dog thinking I'm in pain. I'm sat there going, let's keep going, let's keep walking, let's keep doing a few more steps, and that's the difference of where I am now. So yeah, just a massive transformation, life changing.
And what advice would you have to others? I speak to business owners all the time, and they're in that, maybe not exactly where you are, but they're in that headspace of business, grow the business, invest in the business, and they're just that false summit the whole time. When this next thing happens, it's going to get easier, and they knowingly or unknowingly neglect themselves. And for me, it's about taking that first step. But what advice, having done that, having seen the results, what advice would you give those guys? If they're guys watching this now, what advice would you give them?
I'm sure many people are in a similar situation as I was. Go to the gym. I go to the gym every week. I do this and do that. But I think for me is do something different. Engage in that one-to-one experience, because I think it really does kickstart a different sort of thinking. Do it to make a difference in your mindset, in creating a different discipline, because I am disciplined, I am structured, but not in myself. We can all run businesses, we can all have the best family lives, but actually do it to invest in you as an individual and prolong your life and make make your life a better life. I have a good life. I have a phenomenal life. I've had a wonderful career, still got a wonderful career, but I was neglecting myself. So do it for you, and don't think you're doing it for anybody else. Do it for yourself. And I think that's that was the message for me. I said, once we did that, the last deal in the business is, I am going to invest in myself. If I've gone to a gym, I'd have given up after a month. If I'd have gone on a diet, I'd have given up after a month. It's created a self-discipline, and every business leader, who run businesses, have all got a discipline because they wouldn't be in that position. But this gives a self-discipline like you can't do, because running business is running a business, but running your own life and health is a different animal altogether. And I think doing it this way through yourself triggers something you've got inside you, but it puts you on a different path, and it makes you do stuff for yourself. And I think that's the most important, because you neglect yourself. You do. Yeah. You neglect yourself for sure. In business, you neglect yourself. I look at the board of directors in my business. Every one of them neglecting themselves in some way. It gives you the tools and discipline to change your life. You're not sat next to me. I'm not sat in a room with you every day and having an hour workout and doing this. I think it gives you the tools to create some self-discipline. And if you, as I said, you're targeting the business leaders. They've got a discipline, but it's not for themselves. It's for the business. And this, you give the tools, the challenge to enable to do it, to look after yourself. And again, when you've got that structure already as a business leader, it's easy to translate it into yourself, but you need somebody to do it for you. You need something, a mechanism to do it, because you won't do it on your own. Do you know what, James? It's life-changing. And I can say as much as anybody likes, I can tell you as much you like, but if I was sat with Joe Bloggs having a cup of coffee I didn't know, I would say exactly the same. It's life-changing, and for me, 100% life-changing.
Dan, thank you. It's been great working with you, and I'm really excited to see how much progress you still can make.
Yeah, no, and do you know what, for me, James, the more is the thanks is to you, because, you know, this was a gamble for me, you know, but I was prepared to take the gamble, and it's paid off. But if anybody else is in a similar sort of situation, you know, my advice is do it, because it's about you, and invest in yourself, spend some money in yourself, because it will reap the rewards and benefits for sure, and not just for yourself, but for your family as well.